Everyone, hope everything is going well. I wanted to do a video on just manipulation and what some of the other individuals are talking about. But before I do, I wanted to show a few pickups. And here's the thing, I really haven't been buying a whole lot of cards and collectibles for a little bit. And then I was working like crazy, didn't have time to pay attention to the sports card hobby. And then what happened was prices went crazy after the Ken Golden Logan Paul situation, right? The Pokemon Illustrated card. So I saw some of the cards and collectibles that I've had gone up. Didn't expect that move. So I'm like, okay, let's take some profits and let's deploy some of those profits into what I believe are scarce items that haven't caught a bid and actually have probably gone down lower. All right, number one, you have this 1978 Boilers Maker game. This is what, September 16th, Morton Anderson's NCAA debut. And this is the only one graded. I think there's maybe some tickets out there floating around, but it's a 101 basically as of right now. And this is what I'm doing for a long-term perspective. If it goes up a crazy amount, I may take some profits on some of these. I'm not telling you what to do. And this is a 1997 Kansas Jayhawks September 6th game, Kansas versus TCU. This is LaDainian Tomlinson's NCAA debut. And this is also a 1 of 1. Okay? Looking at scarce items that no one is touching. And the reason why I also looked at this, I saw this one auction of this Terry Bradshaw NFL debut in 1970. I think it was against the Oilers. And PSA 1.5 sold the other day, it's a crappy ticket, for $1,800. A few years ago, I think a PSA 2 sold for a similar amount. And this ungraded ticket, maybe a PSA 3, PSA 4, I think his first touchdown sold last night, assuming that it's a real auction, for $700. And I'm thinking, wait, what's going on here? Are people looking at long-term tickets as, a place where they're going to put money in down the road? And I also like looking at these tickets. Not looking, but like these tickets tell a story. Okay? 1996 Wolverines, Michigan, on September 9th. This was Tom Brady's NCAA debut in 1996. That's right. And this sold for double than what I bought it for, approximately, compared to what you see right now. And it's an authentic stub. It was hyped up during the pandemic. Now it's all quiet on the Western Front. And this is a speculative play. Connor Bedard is injured right now, but this is a 2023 Pittsburgh Penguins versus Chicago Blackhawks. This is in Pittsburgh, October 10th. This is Connor Bedard's not NFL. This is the hockey debut of him, PSA 10. And the thing is that a lot of people are talking about Bedard a few years ago. He's injured, and I'm like, wait, no one's getting into tickets right now. This is probably a time where, hey, look, I understand the job market isn't doing so hot. And if cards are going up, they will take a downturn. And I believe they will take more of a downturn than these tickets. These tickets are already down, some of them are down 50% from their high. So just do the math. These will probably go down less than some of these other Brady cards. The Brady 236 PSA 8, I have to do another video on that. As of last night, that auction was down 31% from the high right before the National. From 5,500, a PSA 236, to about, 3,700. That is utterly insane. Now into the topic. In terms of manipulation and all the hanky-panky, sports card nonsense the other day talked about, hey, there's manipulation going on with potential shill bidding on the high end, these LeBron James cards and all of that. We all know there's shill bidding going on all the time. Freaking, what's his name? Probstein was shill bidding on his snipe auction last year. And that was when cards weren't really doing so hot. Okay, we know this stuff goes on. So, some of the individuals on the Mastro list were shill bidding. This is 2007, 2008. We all know there's hanky-panky in terms of manipulation. But why have sports card caught a huge bid? Even I was shocked about it, but the answer is simple. And I have to repeat it over and over again because a lot of these talking heads are not going to discuss it. They're not going to discuss it because they don't want to tick off Ken Golden. They don't want to tick off the hobby elite because the minute you start speaking up, you will be ostracized. All right, we see this in sports. You see an individual speak up about whatever they believe in, and if they're not on the level of Kyrie Irving or they're not on the level of Aaron Rodgers, they will be kicked out without a shadow of a doubt. LeBron James can say whatever he wants. Aaron Rodgers, Kyrie, say whatever they want. They may get a slap on the wrist, but that's about it. Other individuals, mid-tier, they're not. But going back to what I was discussing, the sports card content creators, they're not going to go after Ken Golden. They're not going to go after Ken Golden because they're part of, it could mess up things business-wise. It can mess up things when it comes to deals. You're not going to be invited to your favorite sports show podcast, whatever, right? Me, I say whatever I want, when I want, how I want. And because of that, a lot of people are, once again, not going to cover what I say. Once again, Ken Golden and Logan Paul had this PSA 9 card multiple times, and then it turned to PSA 10. Because of this, it has manipulated many individuals to believe that a freaking Pokemon Illustrated card is indeed worth $16.4 million. Thus, you saw all the headlines and people went buying all of these goats, thinking, hey, look, if you have freaking Pokemon worth 3x, then these Brady cards should be 3-4x compared to where they were at. Right? PSA 8, 236, that card that I talk about all the time, it was about $1,100. I said it wrong on the professor. I thought it was about $600, $700 when I was looking at some of the charts, but that was wrong. About $1,100, $1,200, whatever it was. And then it went to $5,500. Almost 4x in about 6 months. That's unheard of. And because of Pokemon, that Pokemon sale, people are jumping up and down. And next thing you know it, that Brady card is down 31%, and now people are rotating out of that and going into other things. Like, remember I was buying all those Nadals way back when? At one time, it was $700 during the pandemic, and then it went down all the way. I think it's like $36 or something like that. And now it's back over $100. One sale on ComC I saw is $285. I don't know if it's even worth that, but that's where the market's at. People are just chasing right now because they're like, okay, which one have I missed out? Okay, maybe Mickey Mouse cards are worth a ton. That's where people are going. Yada, yada, yada. So when you see individuals in the hobby talking about manipulation, okay, shield bidding, they're talking about it now. That's great. They were slow to pick up on the probe scene issue, but they're not going to tell you all the information that you need to know when it comes to the hobby. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.